Fox News host Howard Kurtz is going to trot out the old false equivalence tripe on the issue of gay marriage here. Let's watch.
What message does the overall media coverage send to people who happen to oppose gay marriage? Which is 40% of the country, by the way.
Sure. Earlier this week, it was Ben Smith of BuzzFeed told his old employer, Politico, we firmly believe on a number of issues there are not two sides. Now, if you want to be that kind of a view, that perspective, that's perfectly fine. Don't pretend you're unbiased then. Don't pretend that you're objective and nonpartisan and all that. But on this issue, the press has decided one side is effectively illegitimate, that one perspective is effectively evil. They'll be neutral on all kinds of different issues. Sharia law, ISIS, the Castro regime in Cuba. We're not going to take a side on that one. We're not going to say one side is evil on this one. But on the issue of what if you oppose two men getting married or two women getting married, we will call that out as evil.
On the other hand, Mara, are some conservatives, including here on Fox, pushing a narrative that the Supreme Court ruling could threaten religious freedom, lead to legal polygamy, and other sort of slippery slope
I think
events.
there's overreaction on both sides. I mean, first of all, the Supreme Court is important. It tells you what the law of the land is. Marriage, equality, same-sex marriage, whatever you want to call it, is now the law of the land. And conservatives are going to have to adjust. If there are examples where people are forced to do things that are against their religious beliefs, there's going to be a big controversy about it.
So it's fair to cover that side as well?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
But, you know, this is not about what I think about marriage. It's what I think about balanced journalism. And I can't remember another time in my career where I have felt that the coverage has been so one-sided.
Howard Kurtz fundamentally misunderstands the role of journalism. The idea is not to be balanced. It's not, hey, everything is 50-50 in the world, because that's what balance is. Balance is I'll tell you one side and then I'll tell you the other side, and let's look at both sides of every single issue. But that's not the role of journalism. The role of journalism is not neutrality, because oftentimes neutrality is false neutrality. The role of journalism is objectivity. So in other words, facts, truth, what's really happening. So if somebody comes up to you and they say, I believe storks bring babies, and somebody else comes up to you and says, I'm pretty sure it's reproduction. In Howard Kurtz's world, the right way to respond is, all right, well, this side says it's storks and this side says it's reproduction. Back to you. But that's actually, in reality, that is biased because that is untrue. You're giving more weight to the wrong side than you should. You should be giving the stork theory 0% credibility, but you're giving it 50% credibility, which is biased in the direction of the stork theory. By the same token, when Republicans say trickle-down economics works and Democrats say no, it doesn't, when you say it's 50-50, well, you're being biased in favor of the Republicans because it's untrue that trickle-down economics works, but you just gave it 50% of the credibility. So your idea of balance is fundamentally untrue. It is incorrect. By the same token, you want to debate evolution. It's not 50-50. It's not 50% Jesus, Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, something, and then 50%, no, the scientists say it's evolution. The scientists say it happened, so it's true. It's not, hey, either 50% creation, 50% evolution. It is 100% evolution because we know it's true at this point. And the list goes on and on. Climate change. Again, in Howard Kurtz's world, and he'd admit this to you, he'd say, yeah, you should cover both sides. But the problem is only one of the sides has the consensus of scientists and 99.8% of the peer-reviewed studies. So the other side is just, it's not fair, it's not true, it's not correct to give them 50% of the coverage and pretend like it's 50% correct, when in reality, it's 0%. The only people backing that are the fucking fossil fuel industry and their paid-off shill fake scientists. So it's the same thing we're looking at here. The idea is, well, why don't you cover both sides of this debate? Just say the traditional Americans want traditional marriage and the other ones want gay marriage. But, again, what's the problem with that? Take out the word gay, put in the word interracial, and you'll see exactly what the fucking problem is. Could you imagine if you turned on CNN, you turned on any network, and they're giving 50-50 coverage to the idea of banning interracial marriages? Oh, what would the outcry be like? People be like, are you fucking kidding me? What, are you a stupid person? Are you crazy? Are you really that racist? That's what you are? Like what? Just some people believe a black and a white shouldn't get married. What's the problem? I'm just being balanced in my coverage here. But the thing is, that is a ridiculous opinion to hold, and nobody gives a fuck if you don't want other people who are black and white to get married. It's got nothing to do. You have nothing to do with them. If you don't want to get interracial married, fine, don't get interracially married. But you can't take it away from others. It's the same thing for gay marriage. So one side wants to not give people equal rights and the other side does. And you want to cover both sides, you want to make it 50-50 as if both sides have a point. But they don't! Both sides don't have a point! One side says, hey, to each their own. If you want to get gay married, go ahead. Let them get gay married. The other side says, I, as a third party, want to intervene with people I don't know to tell them, even if they love each other, they can't get married. That's not a respectable opinion. That's not a legitimate opinion. And by the way, the guy at the beginning, he's the worst. He was mocking the idea. He's like, well, you know, they admit that some issues are really not debatable. And my response is, well, okay, then don't pretend you're objective. No, but that is objective. It is objective to say a ban on interracial marriage is wrong. It is objective to say evolution is true. It is objective to say climate change is happening. This stuff, it's all objective. It is objective to say, hey, being pro-gay marriage is morally more correct than being against gay marriage. Don't see, again, he even fucked up the usage of the word objective. Because what he really should have said is, well, it's not balanced to say, you know, you're pro-gay marriage and it's not debatable. You're right, it's not balanced. But part of that not balanced is correct. It's correct to not be balanced on that issue because there is no balance. It's like saying, hey, 2 + 2 = 4 or 2 + 2 = 22. I say it equals 4. Well, that's not a very balanced opinion of you. You're damn fucking right it's not balanced, nor should it be balanced, because we know what the fucking answer is. Gay marriage, we know what the fucking answer is. And then did you notice the shit he just made up? He made up. He goes, you know, there's other issues that the media is willing to be neutral on. For example, Sharia law and ISIS. There's no way that you're this stupid. There's no way that you're this stupid. I mean, you must be playing a parody, a caricature of a dumb conservative to say something like that. Really? You don't get the sense that the media is anti-Sharia law? You don't get the sense that the media is anti-ISIS? Hey, asshole! Part and parcel of the debate we're just having about gay marriage is being anti-Sharia law. You know who really fucking hates gay people? Fundamentalist Muslims. ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Taliban, they all hate gay people. So when liberals stand up for gay marriage, part and parcel of that is standing up against Sharia law. It goes hand in hand. But he's like, you know, liberals are neutral on the issue of Sharia law, except for that they're arguing in favor of gay people all the time, except that they argue for women's rights all the time.